Okay, why hello there everyone. I'm the Kumo Sensei, and yeah, no webcam stream. It's just me playing my nostalgia. So today I'm going to be doing, this live stream was random, but I truly want to play this game again. So for those who don't know, this game is called Miscrits. It was an old Facebook game, and it's essentially like Pokemon, but this game here is my childhood. And today I'm just going to be doing some grinding, I guess. And oh boy, I recorded part 1, but I guess when it comes to the offline training part, I'll just live stream it. But I'm super excited to be playing this game again. So this game actually did get cancelled. Basically, it got discontinued because, let's just say, there was some financial decisions that really shut down this game. But to see it come back in full light is truly something marvelous. If you like Pokemon, you will definitely like this game, because this this game is truly something special. And I know some people may not be like for this, but man, it's something for me personally. Oh no, our flu's not looking so great. Oh, we're gonna take a risk. No. I guess that's the end for us. Too bad that we can't use items in battle. Or outside of battle. That part still has not changed much at all. Or much at all. But man, I'm just super excited to be playing Miscrits again though. I know we shouldn't really be messing around with just playing Miscrits here, but a lot of you are not familiar with this game at all. But this game is essentially Pokemon, but nostalgia. If you couldn't afford to play Pokemon, this was like the next best thing. If this thing, man, this game is something. Let's put it that way. There are a lot of elements in this game that I truly like better than Pokemon, such as the relic systems, and some of the more other stuff too. There's a lot of technicalities, but basically, a lot of this is still the same. Training. Usually I would like to give like a bonus stat training, but we're not going to be doing it for this one here, because the stats for this flu is not so great. It seems like there's a lot of RNG involved, which is kind of sad to see, but we take what we can get. These Cup Sprouts are going to get a taste of something here. I cannot wait to get this into an afterburn. Flu evolves into Flight, and then into Fire Brawl, and then into Afterburn. Yeah, we resourced it. Flower Pillar is known for having fast speeds, but I have the elemental advantage here. It's funny how games have changed, well, in a lot, but this game, I like it the way it is. I just hope it doesn't become pay to win. That is my only true concern thus far. Now, I'm not one of the, well, I am an OG, but I'm basically having to relearn this entire game again. But man, I love this game. It's free to play, and it's like Pokemon for free, basically. Back then, a lot of, you know, people couldn't afford Pokemon, so this was like the next best thing. So, like, I remember too, a lot of my Filipino friends used to play this as well, but now it's just me. They're all moved on into better things. Hello, John. We're playing a old nostalgia game. That's basically what this is. So we're playing a game called Miscrits. This is a game that came out back in 2010, I believe. And essentially, there's another flu? Interesting. Let's smack this one. I'm doing well, John. I got done with the morning shift at work, so I came a little late. So I'm playing this game because this game here is free to play, and it doesn't require much on the PC, so you don't... So you really don't need to go crazy. Let's keep this. It's... See... It has some things that are worse and better at the same time. Well, we'll just put this into our storage for now. But essentially, though, this game is basically Pokemon, but a Flash game version of it in a way. It's very simple to understand, and I was actually one of those players that was paid to win on this game, sadly. I will admit that. I used real currency just to buy some of the best, best Miscrits. Basically, Miscrits is what you would call these creatures. And the setting of this entire game is in a setting called Miscria. So Miscrits are basically these magical creatures here that are captured using this magic book, essentially. And that's basically what Miscrits really is. And there's really no strong, plot behind this game. This game is more of just something of childhood nostalgia. And there were a lot of powerful Miscrits that were basically paid to, I don't want to say pay to win, but you had to use real money to buy some of the best Miscrits, or best creatures, is what you would call these Miscrits. So I was basically the guy that was dripping out here. And I remember I was like a 12-year-old kid, and I used my birthday money, believe it or not, to actually buy good Miscrits. Then I'm gonna release you. But that is essentially, though, my history of this game. But what happened was in 2017, basically there was some really bad financial decisions, and also not so great teamwork, to where a lot of, let's just say a lot of things did not go right. And basically, the game pretty much shut down. But now that it's back, because basically they basically salvaged this game to where we're fortunate enough to have this game back. So this game basically got relaunched. It's still basically the same. There are some things that have changed to make it more balanced, because the first Miscrits, the old one that is, was very unbalanced. A lot of these creatures, or these Miscrits is what you would call these creatures, a lot of them were essentially broken. Now I'm gonna release you. Oh no, I guess we'll just keep you, but I won't keep you on my team. But that was basically how Miscrits started, though. It was basically a Flash game that that was something for people to play on Facebook, for those people who couldn't afford Pokemon. And this game was super popular in the Philippines, Southeast Asia, Malaysia. And a lot of my buddies, believe it or not, that played Miscrits, this game here, a lot of them were from the Asian countries. It wasn't as big in the US as it was over in the Philippines, Malaysia, Taiwan, and those things. Well, happy birthday to Ken. He's an amazing voice actor, by the way. I still think, ooh, that's not a good sign. I still do think that he's an amazing voice actor, though. It's kind of funny how everybody knows him as David after Edge Runners, which is You know, it makes sense, I guess, but still, though, it's just so interesting how like once like it just takes one voice acting role and then everybody knows you. So if you're wondering why I keep capturing the same Miscrits that I already have, it's really just because I'm looking for ones that have really good stats. Why? I'm gonna keep this one, but man, do I want a better one. This is kind of infuriating. This Miscrit here is known as a more physical attacker, but his elemental attack is catching up. I don't like that at all. But man, though, I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting distracted because this game here is my childhood. Like, literally, my childhood. So confused is... Yeah, I'm going to flee from this battle here. I don't want to battle this Hydro Seal. I would get murdered. That is not a good buff, by the way, for an enchanting. So enchanting abilities or moves basically buffs it to some extent. Sometimes it gives an extra bonus. Other times it can do something else, but... I'm just gonna fight this Hydro Seal. I know Hydro Seal has really weak physical defense. If this sweet lullaby hits, I'll be so disappointed. I'm very disappointed. That should wake me up, right? Yeah. Well, I used the Baser, so that basically lowers my defenses. But I'm sorry, guys. I'm getting distracted. This game here is truly something special to me. It is one of my biggest things from ages 12 to 16. Like, You started watching Psychopaths? Thank God. Okay, so you're on episode 4. I still do think that Psychopaths is something special, though. Especially the first season. Because TK sings the opening for the first season, which makes it even cooler. There's a lot to say. Oh man, that's not great. Maybe I can smack you to death. No, I'm not strong enough. But, yeah, we're gonna flee here. But there's a lot that can be said about Psychopaths, though. Personally, for me, though, I still... I'm gonna heal up real quick, sorry. But in terms of Psychopaths, though, really... It's kind of... I don't want to say it gets worse, but it's still cool. But it doesn't have the same momentum as the first season, like the later seasons. No disrespect, though. But man, do I love some... I'm gonna keep this Flu, actually. This Flu might be the one I'll use. Later on, that is. Once I can train this one to level 10. But anyhow, though, back to Psychopaths and anime. I've been watching some animes, but not a lot. The ones I have been watching, such as the Apothecary Diaries. Oh, I love the Apothecary Diaries. This is amazing. Solo leveling is great too. But like, it is becoming kind of predictable, though. I won't lie. But not that it's bad or anything. It's more like I know what's going to happen. But man, oh man. I'm playing Miscrits. I'm going to be grinding here for a long time because this game to me was like... This game was basically what I'll consider like my RuneScape, essentially. Okay, you want to smack? Let's smack then. Oh, you cheated. You sprinkle. What's extra elemental? I really need a stronger Flu, man. Oh. Please give me a Cup Sprout. They gave me a Sparkupine. Oh, when life gives you lemons, you make lemonade. I wish this confuse ability was back to 50%, but I guess it was kind of an OP. Please don't, please don't, please don't, please don't. Okay, good. Oh my god, you know. Oh my god, we lost. That's not so great. Oh. This flu has really bad stats. We're gonna need a stronger flu for sure. Solo leveling, season 2 episode. I think solo leveling is okay. I like solo leveling a lot. I think is a really fun show to watch, but I don't think we should take it too seriously sometimes, because Jin Woo as a main character is so OP that like it's kind of. This is the logic I finally thought of, like, way back when. Like, about 9 years ago, when it comes to overpowered characters. When it comes to anime overpowered characters, especially in anime, if, like, they're super strong and super fast, how come they can never get there on time, you know? That part kind of frustrates me sometimes. So, like, Jin Woo just waits for everybody to get their butt kicked out of, like, the socks out of them, you know? And I was like, it can be kind of frustrating, you know? Not saying that soul leveling is bad by any means, but like it's just the logic I question at times. But I will be live streaming this game more often though, I'm not gonna lie. So I apologize if like my future streams I'm just playing this game. This game is literally my RuneScape. Like, I know RuneScape is addicting, but this game is like my RuneScape, literally. I am truly addicted to this game. Zinshu is an amazing series. I think it's kind of underrated. Because, like, I know that people look at Zinshu as like another isekai, quote-unquote. But really, Zinshu as an anime, I really do think it's a fun series, you know. If you don't take it too seriously for what it is, it's just a fun series you can sit back and watch. Basically, Zinshu, for those who are wondering, is an anime where a female protagonist gets isekai'd or transported to another world, and basically essentially what she draws or creates she can bring it to life, but she can only do it once per item, basically. Or make one thing once only. It's a great, like, fun series, truly. Man, people just don't understand, like, the old school days, you know, of just having fun of anime. Like, oh man, Cub Sprout's gonna outspeed. Well, mine ain't gonna do much anyways. Dr. Stone season 1. Oh, season part 1. No, final season 1. I think Dr. Stone is a good show. I'm not kidding. But, like, there's just too much animes nowadays to where Dr. Stone gets flushed out, which can be kind of frustrating at times. So, like, I'm not saying Dr. Stone is like, not popular. It is still popular, but there's just a lot of anime surrounding it for that season. I still do think that Senku is one of the greatest Shonen Jump protagonists to be ever created. Because there really isn't any other characters like Senku in Shonen Jump. I watched the Apothecary Daughters Season 2. Apothecary Daughters is an amazing series, man. Like, Mao Mao and Jinshi, those two main characters, they need to get married. like, just get married already. It's so obvious, man. It just kind of frustrates me, you know. But I really do love Mao Mao. Mao Mao is like, she's an amazing character, waifu material to me personally. One more? Oh no, that's it. Good. We leveled up. All right. This HP stat is pretty bad, I'm not gonna lie, but we just gotta take this Miscrits for what it is, everybody. But like seriously though, we already know, like, it's pretty obvious. Like, I love romance anime, but it just frustrates. I'm just gonna wait for the day they actually just get together, because that day is gonna make me be like, I'm a proud dad, like a proud father seeing, you know, their child find a date or something. Two more levels. Man, this is definitely nostalgia for me. Once we get to level 10, I would like to start looking for our dark waddles. If we can find a dark waddles, that is, but I'm not gonna take my chances here. Poor Hydro Seal. This Miscrit never stood a chance. No, I take that back. That might be a KO. Oh, that is a lot of HP taken from me. Please give me a Cup Sprout. Yes. Oh, thank God. But anyhow, though. Like, animes, I'm enjoying a lot of the animes. Like, if I watch it casually now, instead of like watching it as in like an obligation or something, it's really fun to watch. Especially since I can fall back on like Sakamoto days and really just sit back and enjoy the comfort. Because Tomokazu Sugita, like Sugita, that is, he's an amazing voice actor voicing as Sakamoto. Like I know it's strange, but I really just wish there was just more of like comfort animes, you know, because a lot of animes is not bad, but it's like very reliant on like the typical action-packed stuff. It can kind of become tiring. So like for me personally, like anime, even though I still do watch anime a lot, I don't feel like, I don't want to say excited. I don't feel excited. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that I don't feel as obligated because, like, I know what's going to happen because a lot of animes nowadays are very predictable. I'm not trying to be mean saying that, but sometimes I just wish we can just have a bit more comfort. You're right about that. Sakamoto Days is the definition of perfect casting. I won't even argue that, as a matter of fact. I actually wholeheartedly will agree with that. I'm gonna fight this Sparkupine. See, I'm not gonna lie, Sakamoto does feel kind of weak as a main character, but then again, he's a retired man, you know, just trying to live with his family and whatnot. I feel like people are... One of the disappointing things about anime fans is that they're expecting Sakamoto to be like this overpowered, you know, OG or something of like in the assassination world. But in reality, he was a good assassin, but he's also a guy who's really just trying to relax with his life. That right there is where Dark Pronjo once was. I'm guessing Dark Waddles is there too now. Man, I really just... And I'm guessing that's where Dark Flower Pillar is. They make this so obvious, man. It's pretty funny now that I think about it. But anyhow, though. Back to what I'm saying, though. When it comes to anime, I can watch it and enjoy it as what it is, but please don't. Okay, please don't attack me. I don't want to fight you. You have the elemental advantage. But anyhow, though. It's so interesting how anime is like... It's still anime, but it feels more like it's catering to a certain specific genre or group of people, you know? Because you have to remember, anime back then, they did not really care what they made. Like, literally, anime did not care what anime that was making. If it was a decent show, I mean, if it was like a decent adaptation, they're going for it. Like, they didn't really think it through, honestly, if I'm being honest. They didn't really think it through. This is why, like, a lot of, like, the old animes are kind of wonky in terms of anime adaptations. And it's really because, like, they didn't really plan it out, basically. This is why Fruits Basket's anime, the original 2004 anime or 2006 anime, was not so great. Because, like, the first adaptation of Fruits Baskets, it was not bad, but it did not understood, like, it really didn't understand the source material. This is why the Fruits Baskets remake in 2019 was such a talked about thing, because it was more perfect, I guess, to the manga, the source material, that is. And I still do stand by that. I still do think that, like, there are some people that really like the original anime Fruits Baskets better, but I personally like the remake better. Not because it looks better, it's just because, like, it adapts it better from the manga. But that is where I stand. You don't have to agree with me on that, but there's a lot of animes I really want to see get remakes, you know? Like, I know people always say Tokyo Ghoul deserves a remake, but, like, let's be honest, we already know that. Like, Tokyo Ghoul definitely needs a remake, for certain. Because it's been 11 years since the first season, but, man, I guess it'll never happen. I personally would definitely like, if I could have the chance to remake it, I definitely would. Because I really do think that, like, even though Tokyo Ghoul and some animes are good, in terms of adaptation to the original source, is not so great. Like, okay, this is kind of a hot take. I love Pandora Hearts. It's a really good anime, for an example, even though a lot of people may not have seen it. But I'm not gonna lie, I think the manga does a better job. Like, in terms of catching the tone of the series, you know? So, like, there's a lot of animes we can discuss about getting proper remakes. Like, a lot. Another great example is The Promised Neverland. I love The Promised Neverland, but my goodness, that anime was terrible, though. I'm not even going to try to hide it or defend it. Like, they really need to fix that up. Because I am one of those people that actually read the manga through and through for The Promised Neverland. The Promised Neverland's manga is completely different from the anime. Like, completely different. Not only do they cut off characters and basically change the story entirely, it is a whole different thing by itself. Like, there's no golden pond arc. Okay, now it's time. Alright, everybody. Now is the time to evolve this little flu. We're gonna enchant that to make it stronger. Yoo-hoo! Alright, our little flu here is finally evolved. Yay! Chimney. Good. Alright, we're gonna train this a little bit more, but basically what I'm saying is that, like anime adaptations, though, we can do much better, though. The animation is still the same for this. It's still the same as it was years ago, man. I really love this game so much. We also have a relic slot too. That's good. Too bad we can't actually find relics out in the wild like how it was back in the older games, but I mean the older versions. But yeah, though, that's basically where I stand. We could definitely get more remakes, but I don't think it's ever going to happen. For example, a lot of people want they basically want like a One Punch Man remake. Like that's never going to happen because like the first season was such a unique perspective. Like it basically the first season of One Punch Man. My bad, I said One Piece. I did not mean to say that. I mean One Punch Man. Basically, the first season of One Punch Man was made mostly by independent, or not independent, but like basically interns or like temporary workers, you know, not necessarily made by the main staff. And it was by Studio Madhouse. And then season 2 and the current season 3 is made by Silverlink, I believe, which has a lot of controversy, but I'm not gonna, you know, talk about that too much. I really would like to get this to level at least 13 and then start training a little bit of the others to catch them up, I guess. You know? But anyhow, though, everybody, this game here is basically back. Like, it was gone for about 8 years. I really do miss this game, but I wish I had my old account back, because my old account was deleted. And this, with this re-release or re-relaunch of this game, basically a lot of like the old stuff is now gone. But back then though, I was one of the, like, I don't want to say I was the best players, but I was one of the better players in this game. Because I spent IRL money. This game was kind of pay to win, I would not lie. And I spent a lot of money on this game. Like, I was that addicted to this game. This game is basically my RuneScape. My brain would just turn off and I would just hit the grind on this game. And that's how it was for like a good while, honestly. But I really, I don't know, man. Luckily, like, now that I'm older, I can control my tendencies of like wanting to play a game much more. So for me personally, like, this game here, even though it used to be a strong addiction of me to play this game, now I don't really like have the same. Now I don't really have the same addiction, I guess, is the best way to put it. But it's really hard to say, because this game here is so, I don't know. Have you ever played a game from like your childhood, and then like to see the game disappear, and then one day out of the blue it comes back to you, and you just start playing again? That is basically me with this game. Like, this game is literally that nostalgia factor. It's an A rating, but its physical attack is pretty trash. But I will keep this one, though. So basically, I'm going to capture every single flu that I find. Flu is basically one of the starter Miscrits that you get. But I'm looking for one that has S stats. Like high, extremely good stats. That's basically my goal here. So basically, I'm going to be training while hunting for a bunch of flus until I get one with really good stats. And then once I do find one with really good stats, I will actually train it very well. Because this flu here is a rank D. The same as Jinwoo, basically, from solo leveling. But unlike solo leveling, where Jinwoo gets to become S tier, this guy's forever stuck at D tier. He's forever power crept. But basically, we need something to use, so I'm going to keep using this guy until we can find that one good flu of ours that we need. It's strange because like the old Miscrits from when I was playing didn't really have like rankings of like D rank, A rank. It was more like all the Miscrits have one single stat line and they were just set like that. So it is quite interesting to see the change of this game though. Honestly, I think it changed for the better because, like, back then it was very, very uncontrolled, I guess is the best way to put it, or unregulated. So I'm just happy that we got something that's different now. Everything feels more balanced, and I'm not even complaining about that, honestly. Balancing a game out is basically one of the most difficult things to do in today's time. So really, please don't fall asleep. Please do not fall asleep. Good. So really, I'm just proud that, like, this game is back and up and running. Because I literally... So, funny enough, my whole family used to play this game. And we would, like, and it's I'm guilty of saying this, but of all the siblings, I think I was the most addicted to this game, believe it or not. I was that addicted. Like, I was grinding this game while watching anime. Like, don't get it twisted though. I didn't really spend like 10 hours a day grinding this game. It was more like 4 hours of grinding. Because you have to understand, the grinding back then was different than it is now. Now kids can just... Kids nowadays can spend 20 hours playing Roblox. I was not that type of kid. Because you have to remember, back in my day, like, even though it was around 2012-ish, yeah, around that time period, I still had a life too, you know. Like, I still had to go out and do things that I don't want to do, but I had to. How much is that, matchsticks? That's a 9? Okay, we're gonna run. But it's very funny though. Like, I was very addicted to this game. It got to the point where, like, everybody was just kind of agitated because I kept, like, spending my time playing this game. While in reality, like, I should be focusing on, like, dancing and other stuff. This game was a distraction for a long time, though. Like, I will never forget, I used to watch anime and play this game at the same time. That's how, like, addicting this game was for me. But the reason why, like, I eventually stopped playing it less and less was because, like, as I stated, this game did shut down in 2017. And basically what happened was that, like, the game became very unbalanced. To where, like, if you had money, which I did use money, by the way. I used my own birthday money, my own allowance, just for this game. At times. Not all the time, but at times. Like, if you didn't have money, you couldn't really play competitively. So, like... So for me, like, because I used a lot of my own personal money, which, trust me, $10 back then was expensive for me because I couldn't afford $10, I promise you that. That was like 6 months worth of saving. But when they shut down this game, or announced like this game was getting shut down, I was actually kind of happy. Not like in a good sense, like I hate this game, but more like my addiction is finally going to be at its peace now. Alright, we captured another one of these guys. Let's see what your stat is. If your stat is C, we're releasing you. I don't want this. Goodbye, you're out. Please do not fall asleep. I hate this sweet lullaby, man. Not to mention that I'm at the elemental disadvantage here. But I think, like, addiction-wise, though, this was probably the closest thing I had to an addiction. Like, my brain keeps turning off whenever I actually play this game. Even now, it's starting to turn off, which is not a good thing. Because there are just some games that you just play and your brain just turns off. This is one of those games. My brain is turning off. I gotta keep talking. If I don't keep talking, I'm gonna be so, like, just so hooked to where, like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Because I was a grinder, I tell you, I grind. I remember my brothers was like, Man, Sensei, please stop. Like, Kumo, you're killing yourself here. But it got to, I remember though, it got to a point where like I had like so much like I was so good at this game at one point to where like I was just blowing steam doing nothing with this game. Like I did everything. I got all the cool, you know, Miscrits that I ever wanted, all the cool expensive items, the premium items, you know. It was pay to win, I'm not gonna lie, which was the reason why this game kind of died. Because when it became, when this game started to become more pay to win, it caused a lot of game imbalances. So like any of the free players, they couldn't really catch up competitively. And that really caused this game to go downhill. Can you believe it's been 5 years since Funimation Soda has been delayed because of COVID? I do. It's funny how, like, COVID, the pandemic, started 5 years ago. Because 5 years ago, I was at the worst point in my life. Like, I'm not even gonna lie about that. Because, like, I graduated college with no job, the world shut down, financially broke, and then my girlfriend left me. It was a very interesting time, you know? It was a rough time, I will not lie, but I'm gonna release that flu. But I'm glad that, like, I kept going. Because really, people can feel stuck in life at times. And like, the thing that got me out of my slump was really just trying something new. Because, like, if you're doing the same things every day, it becomes monotonous and you kind of get stuck in a cycle, you know? So you really do need to push yourself sometimes to jump out of that cycle. Because, like, if you get too comfortable in it, it can be a bad thing at times. But it was a very different time, just put it that way, whenever COVID was around. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and say, like, COVID was, like, a good thing for me. It wasn't. But it did teach me some things, though. That is for sure. I'm not gonna deny that. It taught me that sometimes you gotta get out of your comfort zone, and sometimes you have to work harder when things become very dire. Because, like, you have to remember that I graduated college, so I was basically now a young adult. I don't have parents to lean onto now. It's really just me in the big world. And I jumped into it broke, financially unstable, and with a relationship that was basically crumbling apart because, like, I was so inept at that time. And my girlfriend became so impatient. She basically dumped me because, like, it just, for her, like, it was just too dangerous for me to be around because I was just that financially unstable. But I picked myself up and I just moved forward. I don't really hate her for it too, to be honest. I don't hate any of my exes, by the way. Sometimes it just don't work, and you just have to accept it. So, yeah. That's basically my story of COVID. It was the worst time of my life. Or one of the worst times in my life. But I can say that for some people it was a good thing, I guess, but for me it wasn't, because I was just not in a good spot at that time. Because it really truly did come at the worst time imaginable, though. Because nobody, like, being an adult, nobody tells you what is right or wrong. You just have to make your own decisions and basically learn to live with those consequences. Because, like your parents, basically, for example, your parents can tell you, you have to clean your room, or you have to help them do this and that. But the moment you become independent, you really have to, like, you kind of have to think twice now, because like the choices you make will be the choices that affect who you are as a person, basically. And there's no one else to blame but you. So, yeah, I made some pretty good and pretty bad decisions along the way. I will say that much at the least. But I think, like, everybody can learn something, though, with time. There goes another flue. Let's hope we get one that's an S plus tier. Okay, we should be able to capture this little guy. Good. Alright, what is your rank? If this guy's an S, it's an A. We will keep this guy. So this guy's an A we're keeping. Okay, good. So I'm currently I'm currently trying to find one that's rank S, or S plus, that is. But as of now, we're going to be training with these grass... Oh, yeah, these grass miscrits. These nature miscrits, that is. As of now, everybody, I am still trying to get another job as well. Because I am trying to basically save money by getting a better job that pays more. And then using that money that I saved to get a mortgage. Basically pay down a house in the course of 30 years. Or something. But it is a long process, though. Because I'm still learning things as I go. It's kind of strange to say this, but I feel like people don't teach you things at times, so you just kind of have to learn, you know? But I'm learning as I go, and I'm hoping that the decisions I make will lead to somewhere better. Whether those decisions are good or bad, all I really want to know is the end result. Because I don't want to do a bunch of hard work and then it comes out to nothing, you know? But I have to learn to accept responsibilities too if things don't work out. And that's okay, you know? I'm just a regular guy. Or a regular person. I do have a date this week, by the way, but dating has been kind of rough because I'm kind of scared to commit to a relationship because I have trust issues, like I stated in the last live stream. But I don't know, maybe I need to find something that will help deal with that. Because, like, I don't know. Like, I really would like to find a partner that is, like, able to help out as well. So that way, like, when I say help out, I mean, not like she has to work. But if she also works, that will help a lot. Because if I'm paying a mortgage, like, I can financially have a little bit of somebody to rely on as well to pay for a little bit of the bills. So that way it's kind of split. I think this... Okay, Chimney, please hang on there. So close to leveling up. Alright, another flue. Let's hope this one here has better stats. I'm just trying to find one that has S tier stats. You're 89, that's high enough. And you leveled up. Let's hope this one is we'll keep this one as well. So it seems like the S tier stat is actually the hardest one to get, or the S rating, that is. That's so fascinating, honestly. So we have 1, 2, 3 A tiers. Oh boy, that is so all over the place. I really do want one with the, like, finding one with the good stat is basically my goal, I guess. Sorry, I'm getting kind of tired. I only had a little bit of ice cream today. I'm kind of hungry too. Oh wait. So I do need to eat in a little bit. So I'm going to train this a little more, and I'm going to play this off stream. Because I'm sorry, I got to grind. This game is a... I apologize, everybody. This game is definitely the grind. Like, this game and RuneScape are like the two games that you will definitely have to grind. Like, nobody likes farming for agility, but you don't have a choice at times, you know? I'm still trying to find a really good flu. Oh, man. More of these Sparkupines. And a Hydro Seal. That's pretty... Man. So for those who don't know, I actually, when I had my old account, I actually had all these Miscrits that you're seeing right now that were maxed out to the brim. That's how good I was back then. But times changed though. Now we're back to new beginnings. I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually kind of happy that, like, I gotta start over again. Because now I can feel the same excitement and joy as to when I first started. Of just grinding and just trying to figure out the world, you know, of this game. It's just like kind of, it's basically like jumping back into the new world, you know? Everyone has to find their place and whatnot. And it really makes me happy, honestly. I just hope that this game doesn't become pay to win like it did back then. I'm curious, is this game pay to win? Hold up. Yeah, this game is going to become pay to win later on. That's going to be disappointing, but once it does though, I'm going to be back. I'm going to get like the most crazy, man. You guys would not believe it. Like the good old days of how overpowered I was. Today is National Cheesesteak Day. That's kind of funny. One of my colleagues actually told me about that too the other day. Hey, Akairo, did you know? Next week, that is the worst. Whoo-wee, that is the worst test I've ever seen. F+. Yeah, we're releasing you. You're weaker than Jin Woo when he first started in the show. But like I still remember though, like my colleague talking about National Cheesesteak Day. I do like cheesesteaks, but I'm very like this is kind of a strange thing to say. I actually prefer my cheesesteaks with the more softer bread. I know some people like to use like those really thick baguettes for their cheesesteaks, but I find that when you use really thick crust baguettes, what ends up happening is that like the meat and stuff, the juices, it does get absorbed by the baguette, but sometimes like the exterior is too dry. Not too dry, but let's say it's too overbaked to where like it gets like a really hard exterior. And it kind of contradicts a bit with like the softness of the insides of the bread. So I'm like, yeah, I think I prefer, you know, in Italian, like, you know, with like the jus and stuff. Not trying to be mean, but I do like cheesesteaks though. I don't like it. Like, I'm not the person that prefers everything on a cheesesteak per se. But when I do get a cheesesteak, it's really just a regular cheesesteak with onions and cheese whiz. That's really all it comes down to. I don't like it when it has like everything on it. I know people like to put lettuce, tomatoes, and stuff in theirs. I feel like it becomes too much, and the flavor is kind of dulls a little bit because it muddies out, you know, the steak flavor. So like I'm not very picky about my cheesesteaks because like if somebody gave me a cheesesteak with everything on it, I'll take it, you know. But I prefer like I'm Asian, so like sometimes we like the simplicity of the flavors better, you know. But that is just my personal preference. Because like people, it's like asking, do you like medium well, medium rare, you know, or well done, you know, for example. I don't eat steak often, by the way, because like it's kind of it's funny. Steak and pork are like the two proteins that my body has the slowest amount of time digesting. So like if I eat steak or pork one day, I can feel it in my gut for like 2 to 3 days almost. So I literally can just work out and just hope that like the proteins in my belly can be used for the muscles, you know. But I do like cheesesteaks though. But it's not something I would eat every day. My go-to protein is still eggs. Eggs, chicken, and fish. Well, eggs more likely though. But we're still looking for a flu with S tier stats. It's kind of disappointing though, but we'll find that one flu we need. A lot of cup sprouts, I will say. This game makes me want to grind so much. Oh my god, I need to stop. I need to stop, man. I hate what I've become. This game is gonna make me regress to that addiction again of just watching anime while playing this. Like my brain literally turns off when I play this. Some of my favorite creature designs of all time comes from this game too, by the way. Such as Liquifiend, Pujin, Magixio. They're like these coolest looking Miscrits ever, man. I cannot wait. Like, just the good old days of just playing this game. People don't understand how fun this game is to play. This game is free to play, by the way, if you want to play this game. It's basically like Pokemon in a way. But I never got bored of this game though. Huh. I'm not ready for that just yet. Alright everybody, I guess I'm going to call this a live stream for today because I'm going to be grinding this game offline. Sorry everybody. But without further ado everyone, I do want to thank everybody for watching this live stream because I'm so glad this game is back. But I don't want to bore you guys with just me grinding in this game. But yeah, as always everybody, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in a little bit, I think. Yeah, see ya.